involved. It's an interesting thing if you think that, because you said there's a comment you made, and we're going to get to this situation with a QB asking out here. There's a comment you made previously. Go back on the podcast and listen, where you said, "How do you turn down like LeBron James if he wants to come back? Who is it bad for?" And Small said, "Well, winning a title." And you said, "But look at the money that you would make off of it, and you're a business." The question is, would it be bad for Luka? Would he be upset if LeBron was back next year? Like, if we sat here right now and gave Luka truth serum, said, "Do you want LeBron on the team next year?" What do you think he would say?
I don't think he'd give you a direct answer, which is an answer in and of itself. If he's asked the question, he would talk about the greatness of LeBron James.
But if he's not asked it publicly, if he's asked, Chris Canty is Luka's best friend, gets him in a room.
I don't know. I can't speak for him. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know what.
But here's the thing, Evan. It doesn't matter what Luka wants as much as it matters about doing right by him and maximizing the window that you have as a franchise with him as your centerpiece. Sometimes sometimes you got to protect the player from himself. So even if Luka wants LeBron James to come back, you have to acknowledge, hey, Luka, we can't put the team together in a way that elevates you and maximizes your ability with LeBron's salary slot still on the roster.
Oh, I would guess Luka would say he doesn't want LeBron back. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Because he wants to just start this next chapter where he's...
Here's what they have. The Lakers, very simply, have three guys as their three best players that are, in essence, point guards, not in point guards' bodies, that don't play defense. LeBron James, Luka, and Austin Reeves. When I say point guard, I mean old school definition of ball in your hands to start a possession. Right? That doesn't mean necessarily pass first, but in some cases it is.
Yeah.
But it's just ball in hands most of the time to start a possession.
Yeah.
They have three guys who play point guard, none in a point guard body, and none who can guard a point guard. Not ideal. Anyway, the Indianapolis...
Thank you for pointing that out, sir.
Oh, that was a good take, I thought. Anyway, the Indianapolis Colts a couple of years ago drafted a guy in the top 5 of the draft that everybody said, okay, this guy could be amazing. He reminds us of some of the bigger, stronger quarterbacks like Josh Allen or Cam Newton previously. Could he be one of these guys? And Anthony Richardson Sr. Was the quarterback and is with the Indianapolis Colts. And he's had moments where... not terrible. I mean, if you look at the 17 games he's played, 15 starts, the team in those starts is 8-7, winning record. Okay? He has 11 touchdowns passes, 13 interceptions, 10 rushing touchdowns. So, all right, not the worst numbers we've ever seen. He's got the tap out, right? He did that where he's got to come out of the game. Got the orbital injury, unfortunately, before a game this year where he got hurt, where he couldn't play because of an eye injury. And yesterday, it was made known that Anthony Richardson has been granted permission to seek a trade. Does anyone want him, and did the Colts ruin this thing with Anthony Richardson?
Oh, somebody's going to want him. You're talking about a top 5 pick that has a ton of talent, and he's 23 years old. We knew coming out of Florida that he wasn't a finished product, and it was going to take some time until we saw the best of Anthony Richardson. I just think he got thrust into a situation a lot earlier than expected, and it was put in a spot where he wasn't prepared for it. So I do think he could benefit from going somewhere, taking a beat, lowering the expectations just a notch so he can learn the NFL game in a way that he hasn't had an opportunity to behind a veteran player that understands what it means to do this job week in and week out. He needs to go to football school. And I'm not talking about from an X's and O's standpoint as much as I'm talking about from a professionalism standpoint. That's what he needs. And so you would hope that the team that takes a chance on him is a team that has an unquestioned starter that's already in place and that has the infrastructure that is capable of being able to develop people. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm hoping for Anthony Richardson in his career moving forward, because I'm rooting for this young man. I'm hoping that at some point we'll be talking about a Sam Darnold type turnaround when it comes to Anthony Richardson's career trajectory.
And in this post-Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl world, people are going to want to take a chance on somebody that does have those physical tools that maybe wasn't put in the right situation more than ever. It's already a league that has a quarterback scarcity problem. Anthony Richardson, I don't know if I can think of anyone in recent memory where people fell in love with the physical tools and just the raw athleticism in a player more than they have with Anthony Richardson. We knew that he didn't have that body of work coming out of college. For a lot of teams, it did not matter because of what they saw in him, the potential that they saw with the physical gifts that he has. And to me, it's a completely incomplete picture with him. As CeCe mentioned, he's only 23 years old, and he still in his NFL career has not played a lot of football. He missed 13 games because he had that shoulder surgery in 2023 because of a variety of injuries, 4 games in 2024. And Ev, as you mentioned, he had that freak accident with the orbital bone injury that put him on injured reserve last season. So we don't know what Anthony Richardson is yet. We don't know what he can turn into. And I'm sure there is some team out there that sees what he's capable from a physical standpoint that is really going to want to take a chance on him.
If I was his agent, if I was in his family, his inner circle, whatever his advisory team would be, I would have that tough conversation with him, and I would say, we want you to go somewhere for your sake where you have no chance of starting. So like Minnesota has been mentioned because there's an NFL Films clip at the end of a game with the Colts and the Vikings where Kevin O'Connell kind of puts his arm around him and says, like, you're going to be good in this league. Like, don't lose sight of that. So, Minnesota, he has a chance of starting there. Not ready for that. The Colts screwed him up. You don't have, just because you're drafted into the league in the first round doesn't mean you have to start game 1 or year 1, right? Yeah. Like I'm starting to come around to the idea that the Raiders should keep Geno Smith and start him right off the bat. Now, Mendoza may start game 2, whatever it is, but like you don't have to start the rookie quarterback. So when I think about a destination for Anthony Richardson, I think about Buffalo. I also, by the way, let me also say physical body type. I want a starter that physically is big, that he can look at and say, that resembles me a little bit, right? Like I would Philadelphia. Good
that
one.
Probably won't happen because Shane Steichen came from Philadelphia. So
fair.
That.
Stylistically,
yeah.
but Buffalo.
Green Bay.
Malik Willis
Look at what Malik Willis was with Matt LaFleur. Like
but
that makes sense.
I was even going to say, so Philadelphia's a good one. Buffalo. Kansas City's tricky because he could start right away because if Mahomes is not ready, and I don't want that necessarily. If I'm with him, I would look at the Rams. Now, he doesn't play like Stafford at all, but Stafford is a big guy, and obviously putting him with McVay and that offensive staff would be beneficial. I would also look at the Patriots. He's not going to start there. And attaching yourself to Josh McDaniels, who's done wonders with quarterbacks, this is like, if you are someone around Anthony Richardson that cares, get him somewhere, as CeCe said, that's a football school.
You didn't even mention Baltimore.
Another great one. He's no chance of starting there.
No, and Tyler
but that's
Huntley's
a good thing.
Agent, so,
What about the Steelers?
No, he has a chance of starting.
Not if Rodgers comes back, he does.
Yes, he does.
I don't think so. But Mike McCarthy historically brings out the best in quarterbacks. Yeah. You have a stable organization. Aaron Rodgers, to his credit, has been great at mentoring young quarterbacks. All the focus is going to be on Aaron Rodgers. Anthony Richardson can kind of sit back and chill and observe and learn.
I get it. That one feels a little bit less comfortable, and this is not a shot at Rodgers because I do agree with you. Jordan Love would swear by him. Will Howard has already spoken publicly about it. I just think when you're 40...
Zach Wilson, too, with the Jets.
Less.
But I'm just saying, at the time, there was...
42-year-old, I'm just going to assume is more likely to get hurt. Anthony Richardson was done wrong by the Colts. You could say he did wrong to the Colts, but Anthony Richardson was done wrong by the Colts because he had to play. When you have a guy with that little experience coming out of college, you got to give him time.
But think about the Colts.
You know the sad part about what you just said is that regime put him in there because they were worried about losing their jobs.
And they're still there.
Exactly, they're still there. Had they known they would be there this long,
no chance he'd
the
play.
Development plan could have been completely different for
100%.
Anthony Richardson.
Excellent
And then all of a sudden, now we're not talking about them being in this purgatory when it comes to who their week 1 starter is going to be in 2026.
And we're also talking about an organization that didn't put Andrew Luck in the best position as well.
Exactly.
You would think after what happened with Andrew Luck that this organization, more than any other, would look at what they had in Anthony Richardson from a talent standpoint and say, we need to have a foolproof plan here with this development because we cannot go down this road again.
And it's more evidence that quarterbacks in this league, more quarterbacks are ruined than made. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Like these teams that are habitual or line steppers and teams that repeat being in the top 5, top 10s of drafts, the reason why they can't find a quarterback is not because they don't get their hands on talented players at that position. It's because they mismanage the development of that player. Mm-hmm. And Anthony Richardson is just the latest example from the Indianapolis Colts. That's why starting quarterback has been a carousel for them post-Peyton Manning.
Coming up, more news coming out of the Combine. We'll try not to fall asleep while talking about it. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by